Is a popular Islamic cleric who is exposing so many things about Ilhan Omar that we are not aware about.
There's not a single reformed Muslim or mosque or community in America. In the West, Muslims are separate from their book. Ilhan Omar, give her the Quran. If she can read a page, Brandon, I promise you, I'll shave my beard tomorrow. If she can read a page from the Holy Quran. If the majority of these extremists who are now fighting from Chechnya and Al-Shabaab and Somalia, if they know the Arabic alphabet, let alone read the Quran, I'd apologize to you. These people are brainwashed by the Muslim Brotherhood, who knew very well how to hijack a religion, right? And the problems we're facing today, by the way, are 100 years old. 98 years old. We're 100 years behind. So we can start again, or we can just be realistic and say, okay, we either go to war against these guys ideologically, be more vocal against them, or we just sit back and let them destroy society. And I choose to not sit back, and I choose to speak out.
Make regime change really does not help the people of countries like Venezuela, and it certainly does not help, and it's not in the interest of the United States.
For Ilhan Omar to make comments about a regime change is wild, considering her family's history, and I figured not enough people know about her family's history, so let's recap. Her dad and her grandfather were both high-ranking military officials to the Bar regime, which killed over 200,000 people. They're most famous for the Isaac genocide, and they were like, it was the worst of the worst. Aerial bombings, executions, man-made famine. People massively suffered under this regime with the help of people like Ilhan Omar's family, who supported the regime and carried out this horror. Also, you want to know how Barr started out? As a socialist and then became a murderous dictator. I digress. They have family ties to this guy known as the Butcher of Hargeisa, and his whole shtick was kill all but the crows. So I don't know about you, but I've never been in public or at a public gathering with a butcher of people. So the suffering of the people of Somalia was so bad that there was a civil war and the regime was overthrown. Her family fled to first Kenya and then Minnesota, claiming they're like these asylum seekers, these poor people. No. They were fleeing to escape being held accountable for what they did. She was not oppressed. Her family, they were the oppressors. So for the Democratic Party to have her as a representative is insane to me. Like, that's who you want your party to represent. That's who you want to represent your party? Really? And the way that they've like rebranded her as, oh, this poor refugee. No, she wasn't a refugee of war. Her family created the war.
Is a popular Islamic cleric who is exposing so many things about Ilhan Omar that we are not aware about. Let's delve into it. A video is circulating online involving Ilhan Omar and remarks attributed to a religious leader, sparking intense reactions across social media. Some are calling it a major revelation, others say it is misleading, taken out of context, or completely unverified. In today's digital world, moments like this spread fast, but the truth often takes longer to uncover. So the real question is, what was actually said, what's being claimed, and what can be confirmed?
Over the past few years, as the never-ending trials, it seems, in the Feeding Our Future scandal have been playing out, we've been hearing more and more about what has now become known as Somali fraud in Minnesota. Where do people from Somaliland fit into all of this? Or I guess, do they, is the question.
You can look at the Feeding Our Future scam. I think out of the 78, I think 76 are from Somalia, and I think 2 are Americans. That also shows you that there is a distinctiveness here. And there is a common trust amongst the people of Somaliland. You can see that because Somalilanders believe in the rule of law, they thrive in countries like the United States of America. We have people in from Somaliland who are in America, who have very good, high-paying jobs, very decent jobs, and I think it's because of this adherence to the rule of law and different cultures.
In a way, Sonia, it seems that you weren't even surprised about this fraud in Minnesota.
Absolutely not. We saw it coming because we used to wonder why are people not talking about this. We were always seeing stories, Somali gangs, Somali murders, Somali theft. We asked ourselves, how is it possible a small group of people, Somalians are not many in the United States, but they were able to get away with so much. I think the people of Somalia are a direct reflection of the Somalian government and its ability to manipulate, its ability to deceive, its ability to act vulnerable, to always blame, scapegoat, and gaslight. For example, if I spoke out about Somalia, this is the names they call me. They call me a Christian lover, Galra. They say that you are secessionist. They say you are separatist. So only the strong can truly withstand the onslaught. The attack is so massive and vast. A Caucasian person in America, if that person is told that, oh, you are anti-Muslim, you are anti-Black, so people are silenced.
Along with all the fraud, Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has been facing increasing scrutiny these past few weeks, with comments recently from President Trump calling for her to be investigated, even demands for her deportation. But as someone who's been an activist for Somaliland, not Somalia, what is your perspective on her personally and politically as well, Sonia?
So these people from Somaliland are highly persecuted. So many of them tend not to speak up. Ilhan Omar is someone that I know isn't telling the American people the truth. She is in the Democratic Party. She talks about democracy. She talks about human rights. But Ilhan Omar disregards 6 to 8 million people that are Muslims, by the way, that are Black, by the way, that are found in Somaliland. She called us Somali Iskusheg, meaning those who call themselves Somali. Wow. Ilhan Omar has lied to the American people. I don't really know how to give back to America, but I know that I'm an American patriot, that when we had nothing, this country gave me everything. She scapegoats the people who call out her ineffectiveness, because I haven't seen Ilhan Omar demanding accountability in Minnesota.
The story that has never been successfully refuted, even though it's now a 5-year-old story, that's clearly a deportable offense. Is there an investigation into that?
You know, I just got advised by a fraud investigator the other day on that. I asked the question, who reviewed the file, and says that, there was immigration fraud involved. The statute of limitation became an issue in the last 4 years when this was first brought up.
All right, guys, did you hear that? Tom Homan, the border czar, the guy who actually knows what a sovereign nation is supposed to look like, just confirmed it. We're talking about potential immigration fraud involving a sitting member of Congress. Look, we've heard these rumors for years about Ilhan Omar, but hearing a guy with Homan's track record say he's seen the files, that changes everything. While Omar is out there lecturing us about founding fathers and
a story that has never been successfully refuted, even though it's now a 5-year-old story, that's clearly a deportable offense. Is there an investigation into that? I just got advised by a fraud investigator the other day on that. I asked the question who reviewed the file and says, there was immigration fraud involved. The statute of limitations became an issue in the last 4 years when this was first brought up. All right, guys, did you hear that? Tom H. Man, the border, the guy who actually knows what a sovereign nation is supposed to look like, just confirmed it. We're talking about potential immigration fraud involving a sitting member of Congress. Look, we've heard these rumors for years about Ilhan Omar, but hearing a guy with H. Man's track record say he's seen the files, that changes everything. While Omar is out there lecturing us about founding fathers and constitutional rights, Homan is doing the dirty work of actually enforcing the laws that the squad wants to rip to shreds. Today, we're watching this full breakdown. We're going to see Omar try to play the victim. We're going to see the media spin. And most importantly, we're going to see why Tom H. Man is exactly the kind of no-nonsense leader we need if we're ever going to get our borders back. Strap in, because this one is going to get heated. Let's roll the rest. Knowing all of that, here's Ilhan Omar on our immigration system under this president and the job that you're doing. This is certainly not what the founding fathers of the American dream were thinking about when they said, that when they set out to write the Constitution. Unlike the B administration, we're following the Constitution. We're enforcing the law. We're not ignoring the law. And you're right, the proper, assimilation's important and is going to be required. Not only that, when they come here under legal program, they're required to be self-sufficient. They have to prove they're self-sufficient. So a lot of them, first thing they're doing to get here is get on the public due. President Trump put his foot down, and like I said earlier, we're doing a deep dive on thousands and thousands of files, and we'll hold people accountable. And then I'm so tired of them pulling the race card all the time, because we're doing this racist.